Oh, this feels like such a terrible idea. I hate it. I hate it. Well, my friends, welcome back. I think that today, this episode, is the time to go to the Nether. Wait, I mean the End Dimension. What is wrong with my brain? I have taken many trips back and forth working on the various projects in this area. My ender chest has become cramped and full and disorganized. And you know what? We need shulker boxes to take things to the next level. And I am also just starting to run out of storage space and just chuck things randomly into these chests now. Something really does need to change. But anyways, I have been busy in between episodes, mostly figuring out things that we're going to build in the future, and we have plans to put another farm inside of this tower. As you'll see, I've put together a roof that ties the whole room together rather nicely, and it may be this episode that we get to build the farm on top of here, but it is really going to be massive and extend high up into the sky. When it's finished, it's going to be a marvel to behold. But what's funny is that there isn't really any room to build a staircase to go up, and I didn't want to put a chest just in the ceiling because this farm's going to output a lot of useful items. So as you can see, we're going to drop it down through the ceiling into the chests down below. And because I need a lot of storage, we'll probably end up with like a trapdoor here, and then I can go down into a little sub room, and there'll be tons of storage, not only for wool, but for another material as well. So I will keep you guessing for now, as I really don't have too much of a plan for this episode. I've got multiple things in the work, but as of right now, we just need to take care of getting our hands on some shulker boxes. So thinking ahead, I've grabbed myself a water bucket to deal with the floating effect in the End Dimension. I'm going to show you that later in case you've never seen it. I got some chests which we'll convert into ender chests when we get there for carrying back the goodies. Golden apple in case I get in a hairy situation. And probably most important of all, I've got a shield to protect us from those projectiles that the shulkers shoot. And there is one other thing that I would like to take advantage of, and that is potentially getting an elytra, and so I'm going to need some rockets, right? The thing is, I've only killed a handful of creepers this season. I've got 15 gunpowder to my name, so that is not going to make a lot of rockets. I'm going to have to use them sparingly, and I'm glad I came this way to grab some sugarcane, because Doc has been transforming his area, and that actually looks gorgeous. I love the style that he's gone for over here. Once again, it's got me quite inspired, but we're not doing anything creative for today. We're heading into the end. And I was about to say, fortunately for me, the other hermits have already taken care of getting to the End Dimension. I mean, the portal's even set up. And maybe I've missed out a little bit on the fun of doing all of this stuff yourself, because I haven't had to farm any ender pearls or anything like that. As you can see, the portal is open and ready to go. But speaking of ender pearls, if I am to travel out to the outer regions and find a city, we're going to need some ender pearls to get through there. So first thing would be to farm a few endermen. And I was kind of expecting to see a little temporary platform farm so that you can just look directly at the endermen, bring them to you, farm up some ender pearls. And I guess the looting enchantment makes light work of this, which is nice. And there we go, we've got a few ender pearls, but I kind of realised I've forgotten something rather important. Blocks. Lots and lots of blocks, because we're probably going to end up pillaring across some end islands at some point. So I'm going to take a bunch of cobbled deep slate. Alright, it looks like the dragon has been killed multiple times, as there are plenty of portals to pick from. However, we don't want to head south, because this season of Hermitcraft there is a border south to preserve the world for future updates, and that border actually gets applied in all the dimensions. So what way is south? Well, you can press F3. Do you like that? That is a mod called Better F3. I was talking to my friend who is a modder, and I was saying, wouldn't it be really cool if you could customize the F3 screen so it could highlight certain text with different colors? And turns out there's actually a mod that does this. So I've been able to fully customize this, which things get displayed on this screen, and now it's much easier to read too. So yeah, the side where there is the most portals is south, so we're going to go this direction, which is east. Yeah, the old trapdoor. Aha, that's the way we'll go. Oh jeez. Oh, that scared the life out of me. So now the exploration begins, and there's one other thing I guess to pick up for now, which is some of the old chorus fruit. More importantly, the buds. I've got silk touch, so we can grab those and grow more of them later. So I guess now all we got to do is find ourselves an end city. Hey, look at that! There is our very first end city, and... oh, awesome! Okay, that's great. They don't always have those. That's where the elytra is. And ironically, I haven't used like a single block to pillar anywhere to get here yet. But I guess we will be pillaring straight up and getting our hands on an elytra. I can't remember, but I think you can ender pearl from there to there. That feels like it would be intentionally designed that way. Actually, let's find out. I'm going to go in the front door and we're going to ender pearl across. Okay, I've begun to float, which is another way I could get up there, but this is what the water bucket is for. You see it reverses the effect, so I can start to head back down. Alright, I got myself my first 3 shulker boxes and a brand new face. I'm going to aim for enough shulker boxes to fill up my ender chest. I think that would be a good goal for us. Well, we're here, and I absolutely do not want to miss this shot, so I'm going to aim just... oh, this feels like such a terrible idea. I hate it. I hate it. It's a good thing we got feather falling, right? And you, Mr. Enderman, you almost walked right in front of me. Don't think I didn't see that. Well, I guess we're pillaring up after all. So there it is, our first pair of wings, and let's not forget there's something else of value to collect here, and that would be the dragon head. Well, I am certainly looking rather menacing right now. I love this dragon head. I wish they would add a few more novelty items like this to the game. Also, now we've got the opportunity to collect some good loot, like stuff like this. You know, usually I pick it all up and then never use it for the rest of the season, so I think I'm just going to leave this stuff behind. Oh my goodness me, I haven't opened a brewing stand yet this season, and I've got the Vanilla Tweaks resource pack showing you all of the different ways to make the potions. That looks so good. I love it. Might as well take the brewing stand as well, right? And I should probably pinch some end rods while I'm out here for building materials. So I guess I should have pillared out by about 5 or 6 blocks before then throwing the ender pearl. Anyway, it's time for us to take our first flight, and I'm simply going to drift over here. Not going to use any rockets just yet. So I finished conquering that end city, and now I've just finished conquering another one, and we're going to go fly off in search of another. But I wanted to show you the trick. As you'll see here, I've only used 1 firework rocket, and this is going to be nice and easy to see with the F3 screen. We're going to look at the... is it rotation? Yeah, rotation has pitch. So what you want to do is fly up like this at -45, and then when you get high up, you ditch down to 45 like that. Alright? And then you go up by 45, and then you can basically fly forever with 1 rocket. And what did I see? Oh, have I gone back to the... no, I haven't gone back to the one I was at before. This is a new one. Alright, we get another elytra. So in the past, I usually do this for hours and hours and hours, but we've hit up 3 end cities. In this one, I got 16 diamonds, a full stack of shulker shells. I think I am good. We're going to head back. Oh, and do you know what really made the difference? The netherite armor. Usually I end up here with like some janky iron armor, but we got all the enchants and the netherite, and it just made everything here so much easier. So my friends, organisation takes time, but with it being early in the season, I've got all the most useful stuff packed into my ender chest. And what I've done this time is just given them numbers to begin with, so I'll try and keep them in this particular order. I don't really have any dyes at all to colour code them, but that'll come later on. And this will probably adapt with time as well, as there will be more and more useful things that I want to have in my ender chest at all times. So yeah, it'll take us a long time to fully organise that. If you saw Season 8, you'll know that I had a big bunch of colour-coded shulker boxes with tons of useful items in them at all times. Anyway, now what I need to do is go around and find like all the random chests of stuff that get left behind from doing projects. And from our shop, I actually had tons of sandstone lying around here when I was going all the way out to the desert to mine more. So as I go around looking for junk and stuff that I've left behind, I noticed that this was no longer working. I never thought about restocking it. So if I stand here, there's like a very little gap and we can access the dispenser. So I will be able to put some more shears in like that. But yeah, silly little oversight of mine. And I don't think I can really integrate an easy way to update it. I think what I'll do is probably put a hopper here with a double chest on top and fill that to the brim with shears at some point in time and then never worry about it again. This also reminded me of the bee farm up here, and it just so happens I can put a little hopper on this side, I can put a little hopper on that side. You could actually just put in the bottles of the shears on either side, but there you go. So what are we doing today? We're taking a trip over to Corralis's. I've got something amazing to show you, and then I'm going to also be able to show you how big the tower that's going to go on top of the build behind me is, and I've started working on the farm over there as well, so that is going to be the direction. Also, this hat feels kind of rude. It covers so much of my face when I'm talking to you. So Corralis has a gorgeous base coming along over here, and he needed some help with some redstone in this area over here, and I had a bit of a gobsmacked moment when I walked into this room. So as I walked into this room, Corralis popped in a record into the jukebox, and this was the sight that I saw. And it was just an absolute Minecraft moment. I mean, isn't that just wonderful? Oh, this is so good. And you see the panda is just sitting there munching away on bamboo. That's what I helped Corralis with. He had a redstone signal going up here, and what we did is added a clock so it would dispense lots of bamboo, and then this guy would sit here eating it while the record was playing. And it looks like he's DJing, and that is just pure creativity. Look, the Iron Golem's like, what's going on in there? What are you up to? I want to join in. Oh, and isn't this record just amazing? I love the Minecraft music. So I wanted to pop over here and grab some bamboo from Corralis, as he's recently built a bamboo farm using a flying machine. I believe it goes, yeah, down here, underneath me. So hopefully I can pinch some bamboo from him. Okay, I got some bamboo. The other thing that I need is string so that we can make scaffolding. I can show you how tall this thing is going to go, but I don't have some string, but I do have a string farm somewhere as it goes. So this was a very early project that I did on stream when we first found the mesa biome that you see behind me, and now I've hooked it up with a nether portal, and that happens to be very near the entrance to my little spider farm, and it's a very low effort, easy to get going type thing, right? Like, this is it. The room right there, and then the spiders come over and you can give them a whack. And they can also whack you too. So I need to stand back a little bit. As you know though, I now have a decent sword for these sorts of farms, so looting, that's terrific, but also the sweeping edge has given me a little bit of an idea here to see if we can make this thing sort of AFKable, because at the moment you can see like the spiders will come over to a spot and then generally they will be stuck there, and yes, I just walked into the fire that I made a moment ago. So if we could bring them all to a central spot all the time without having to do too much more to this room, then the sweeping edge will come in really handy and we can get tons and tons of string by being AFK. And so an hour goes by. I am just potentially wasting my time here. I've been tinkering with so many different farm designs, and that right there is kind of annoying. You can see I've got some hopper minecarts stacked. Oh, it's actually back here. It's landed on that block. Well, that's kind of annoying. The idea was that I would stand here and that the spiders would always come to the center. Sometimes they get grouped up on the side, but if one comes to the center, then the sweeping edge attack kind of gets the ones over here. And then some of the items were landing on top of the wall block that we have, which is why we have some double stacked minecart hoppers inside of blocks, which means that the items funnel through to here. And you know what, I could go on talking about its flaws and things that we could change, and I don't think it's going to work. I wanted to be able to stand here, AFK clicking, and getting lots of string. And I suspect that some of you will remind me of what we created last season, which is this thing right here. However, that was a big farm where the cave spiders were funneled by water into a spot like this. And what I'm trying to do here is just create like a cheap and simple setup where the cave spiders will spawn, see the player, and then head over here and get caught. But where we built this up, you can see that they're not actually able to see me through all of these other blocks. So sadly, I couldn't find a way to do this. And if you've got an idea to share, then you can tweet it at me. Maybe together we'll be able to find out a solution for just a very simple, easy setup that doesn't require digging out a big farm. And while I've been over here, I have been able to get my hands on almost 4 stacks of string, so let's go and put that to use. So here it is. Are you ready? Aha. Aha. It's going to be absolutely massive. Sort of a mini mega build, if you like. But we need to get back to building the farm, which is going to be an iron farm, because we need iron for all of our projects that we're doing in the future. You know how it goes. We get to take things to the next level once we've got a good supply of iron coming in. And so with the help of Logical Geek Boy and his knowledge with iron farms, we've got something that's custom built to fit inside of the tower that I will build around this thing. So the bottom area, as you might suspect, is where the iron golems will get killed, and the items sort of drop all the way down there. And this is what I was getting at earlier. They're going to fall through there, through the hole, down into the hopper at the bottom. It's all a bit silly, but it's all a bit fun. So then we have the next bit, which is going to have villagers standing on beds and eventually a mob in this area to scare them continuously so that iron golems spawn, and they'll spawn just up there. And if we build the whole thing correctly as I've planned, there's nowhere else for them to spawn except in the water here, which funnels them down to the area below. It's all very, very simple, right? Nothing can go wrong. Except we got to get villagers up into those beds, and fortunately there's actually some villagers, like a villager breeder nearby. This is Hypno's base here. It's Iskal's base that has a villager breeder. I can hear them. They're inside the side of this mountain. It's actually a little further away than I thought, but you know, won't be too much harm to move some villagers over there. So Iskal has like a farm, and it just brings tons of villagers down into this water stream, and we can then pick them up with the minecart rail here and send them in that direction, which is what I will do. I'm also going to need something like that, a zombie, at some point, but I'm sure Iskal's probably got plans for that thing. So what does scaffolding and rail add up to? It creates a roller coaster. Look at this, just going all the way off over there. This might seem a bit over the top, but actually it's really easy to place all the scaffolding, and it also makes it really easy to get rid of the rails after. Dang it, it looks like we missed one of the rails all the way back here. So yeah, when I pop off the scaffolding, all the rails are going to drop as well, and that's just much better than mining them and potentially like breaking and changing some of the terrain. So all of this scaffolding just sits on the top of it and takes us straight to our destination. And I'll have to do this 3 times over, but that's perfectly fine, right? And I think the way this is set up, the hitbox of the minecart itself is going to like interact with the villagers through the gap. So much so I thought it might have jumped in straight away. What about when I hit the lever? Aha, when it moves, it picks one up. Excellent. Yes, that's right, I am your companion for this journey, my friend. And I think you'd be right to say this is the world's most boring roller coaster. Up until now. There we go. So at the end here, I really don't know just quite what's going to happen. I've got to get it out of the minecart and hope it doesn't sort of pop itself into another location. Then get it sat on the bed. So the first bit looks good. I can give you a nudge. I can shut the door here. Then it's F3B and potentially breaking the scaffolding as well. So we'll aim over there. And that's looking good. That's looking good. I need the slab. Get the slab ready. Come on, onto the bed. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that was painless. This guy can now not escape from here. Although it kind of looks like maybe it could. I'm really sure it doesn't. This is bigger than a half slab, right? Yeah, look at that. It's ever so bigger. So this guy can't escape. Excellent. So we shall leave you there for a moment as a bit of a test, but you can see where it's going. Just got to push another one over here. Oh, look at the time. Someone's taking a kip. Someone else is taking a kip. I'm also taking a kip as well. And yeah, okay, that's not really a problem. I can fix this now, but obviously when I remove the platform, they'll just wake up on the bed like this guy. On this one might have popped there because that's not a scaffolding block too. Interesting stuff. Villager number 3 goes straight into the beds, don't you, buddy? Straight in there you go. That has gone surprisingly smooth. I mean, the reality is I've been playing this game for a long time and I've figured this stuff out, but I've just had too many nightmares in the past where things go wrong. So it's always good to think things through, which we've done. And so now what I need to do is take away these blocks, including the ones underneath the beds. And then there's a little more of the contraption that needs to go somewhere around here, and we're going to have to find a zombie to put into this. And that's actually one of the things that I think I've done a lot less in this game, is move around hostile mobs. So I am a little bit terrified, but then again, you know, I'm kitted out with really good armor, so I'm probably going to get whacked a bit, but I'll be okay. So we need a zombie that continuously scares these 3 villagers, and the way to do that is to have it bobbing up and down in some water. The soul sand helps with that, and then with the right amount of snow layers here, I think I might need one more snow layer on it, but then it'll break the line of sight with the villagers over and over again. So it's then our job to lure the zombie up to this spot and push it into the hole. And I'm sure I'll find a way, but I've got to figure out where to get a zombie from, right? Before we do that though, let's take down all of this crazy scaffolding that I've put up. So when I was taking down the scaffolding, it turned to night. As you can see, I put some scaffolding back up though. As it turned to night, a zombie came towards me. I managed to quickly trap it, as you can see over here. And this one picked up a helmet. Now we need the helmet to transport it in the daylight so it doesn't get set on fire. And because it can pick up items, I don't actually need to give it a name tag. But what we do need to do is give it a nudge. It might help if there's rail here. There we go. Now we nudge her. No, that's no good either. There we go, now you're on your way. And so I've given myself a little room to maneuver here. And it really is about this guy staying on that block, but he's more interested in me than the villagers. So I might leave the area once I break the minecart. And that's really not good. I'm going to try and use this to my advantage. If I keep you on the rail... Ah. No, no. Hey! Something fell down! It's our first iron golem! And that's because the villagers have seen the zombie and they're scared. Proof that it works! Oh, it just wandered straight in there. Well, isn't that perfect? That's it! Job is done! Job's done! As they say. So this guy is under those blocks, by the way, so we don't have to worry about the helmet running out. I'm just removing the last of these. I've left a fence post there so nothing can spawn on top of that. And then down here, like they literally spawned just a second ago. And I need to get all of my scaffold and rails back, so let's grab ye old flint and steel. Let's show them how it's done. Come on, lads. Oh, did the one with the banner die? And there's the banner, I want to keep that. And there's the iron, I want to keep all of that too, of course. And I got no idea how frequently these iron golems spawn, but there goes another one. Then you can see it's on fire, and that, my friends, means that we have a working iron farm, and I'm also a hedgehog now. And with all of that iron, we're going to be able to build the contraption that connects to this building. It is exciting times. Whoa, just felt some serious frame rate drop. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to do some server diagnostics and figure out why we're getting some shaky frame rates here. So I'll make it quick, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon in another episode of Hermitcraft. Bye bye!